Good day. Well, what we're looking at here is my next build. This is your typical standard run-of-the-mill QAV250, which I got on sale at MCM for $53. That was a complete blowout. So I purchased a couple of those. I got these 3 cells. I'm going to run these on 3 cell 1300s. I think this will be just fine as far as pop goes. Originally I decided to build a really nice stack, which is a Rev 6 Naze 32 along with the 1.5 OS Doge. The Doge is nice. It doesn't have the capacitor on the top that falls off any longer, so I had this done up for 3 cell and had the 90-degree pins put on there. But unfortunately what I'm finding is that in order to get that into the chassis, it doesn't fit. I mean, it will physically fit, but I've got this little firewall, you know, in the back, which I don't need, honestly, but in order to have this facing the right direction, the pins and whatnot, it means I won't be able to fit any of the connectors on here, and everything sticks out really far on the sides as well. And even if I were to turn this and do something in clean flight, which I'm not experienced with, to rotate this whole thing, I'm still looking at no access to either of the USB I/O ports, maybe access to one of them. I don't know, this is a game time decision, but I think due to my relative infamiliarity with this whole thing, this is an expensive deal to have this done up. This is $100. This cube stack right here is a real beauty. I had Quad Questions solder all this up for me, but I think I'm going to use it on another build. I think I'm going to use it on my really expensive Armatin build instead. I might be making a mistake there. I don't know. I might size it up again, which is why it's on the bench here. I don't know yet, but it's starting to look like I will, because the Armatin has a full mullet Naze 32, which is the full version with, you know, barometers, all sorts of things that are in a higher quality as far as position hold, GPS, return to home ability, things like that that aren't on the cheap Acro Nazi, which I had soldered up. And these pin headers are on straight, and so inside I think it's going to fit in the chassis a lot better. I'm having a 3D print done right now, which will take the MinimOSD. This is a Rev 2 Mavlink, which I think I'm planning on using with this build to stack it below this. And as it stacks, the way it's going to work is that's going to go to the front, and these are going to come out the side like that. So there's not going to be any interference, and I should be able to stack these two pretty well. So I think I'm going to try this first. I know the full 32 is a little bit overkill for a little acro platform like this, but I I don't know. I just think that that's the way I'm going to go. This comes with the small 1806 motors. These are good quality Lumenier product. Very good motor. Again, all this came with a $53 build. The ESCs are the 12 amps. These are Simon K flashed. I honestly am getting into a whole bunch of stuff that I'm a little bit, quite frankly, unfamiliar with. So this is kind of the nice thing about this build is there's a lot that I don't know about, such as ESC programming and whatnot, where I'm going to learn on this build. And that's kind of the whole purpose. The whole reason I chose this kit was to get some familiarity. I didn't see that it had its terminators on there. Those quick adapters, plug-ins, quick connects, disconnects. Anyway, I wanted to get some experience building these things in an ACE32 platform before I actually put the Armatin together, because I didn't want to screw the Armatin up, because I'm already well over $500 into that build. $600 if you start to add some of the peripherals to it. But getting back to this build, this is going to be my my test, my inexperience is going to be tested here. I want to put clean flight on this. I want to, or beta flight, I want to get experience programming the PIDs, tuning the ESCs, a lot of things that that you get from, you know, doing this kind of thing. I've got a lot of experience soldering, but then again, you know, we're going to be doing some soldering here. It's kind of new. I don't really solder to power distribution boards much, so I want to get that right. I've got a good soldering kit, so that shouldn't represent too much difficulty. I'm looking at the X4R. This has got both CPPM and S-Bus, so this is a good version. I'm going to be able to do whatever I want to with this. I'm not too sure about the RSI. I might have to open up the package and solder something to the board for RSSI. But the ACE32 is pretty adaptable. The chipset is really well adapted to the FrSky. I'm using the new Foxeer. This is the new version. That's, you know, it's a 600 CCD board, but it's the new 1170 if you want to look at that. This could actually even be considered 1190, but I was more interested in the mounting kit, which is, you know, the new mounting kit, and I won't open this up. Is kind of cool, and I'm going to look forward to I'm probably not going to use this with a board cam. Instead, I'll probably just go and physically mount that here, and I may or may not cut the actual frame to get, you know, the proper angle. I think my biggest worry about this frame, I want to make sure it doesn't get hit in an accident. So it's going to sit around here, but it also sits at the proper angle so that I can fly this thing and see where I'm going. I've got a lot of dress-up kits. Flightclub. This is for the X4R. This is for the space for the power distribution board. I got some green motor mounts. And so this whole green thing, as you can see, I've also got the green piece for the firewall. This whole green theme is going to kind of be half of my, these are custom made just for this. They fit perfect. Had some longer 8mm M3x8s so I could get those screwed down. But yeah, I'm going to go for kind of a, I'm going to start with the original black gem fans, but I've got got yellows and blues as well. So I'm going to be going for a look here, which I usually try to do on most of my builds. And I'm going to go for a look that's either going to be yellow and green or possibly blue and green. Antenna's probably going to be this, but this is heavy. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but if it goes either way, yellow, or it's going to probably go well with the green. I've got some blue wire sleeving left over from another build, the Dragonfly build, so I might use that. I've got plenty of extra red wire sleeving from my the Armatin build that I'm going to be making, so I could use that. I like this stuff. I've got all kinds of sizes. I like this material. It's really flexible. It'll flex to nearly twice the width, and that'll allow you to get over things like connectors or large capacitors or whatever you may want to throw in its way. So I kind of like this braided stuff, and I've got some more 3D printed stuff. I'm going to run a 600 milliwatt, ImmersionRC unit. I'll probably just have that sitting up on top. I'm not going to get crazy and put it underneath. I'm just going to sit it on top, and I'm going to sit it in a casing up here and probably have the antenna running off the back. Problem is that I see is I don't know exactly how I'm going to balance this rig, because with this thing so far back, and I just don't like the idea of a flying battery. I never have liked the idea of just a big honking battery sitting on top of a 250. For whatever reason, to me, whenever you see the pictures, they never have the battery on them. And it's just because, well, possibly, it looks ugly as hell sitting up there. So I've always liked builds where they were somewhat concealed, or it looked like they were integrated into the frame, and this does that, but at the expense of balance. I mean, the balance on this thing, the flight controller is going to be right here, so it's going to need to be there. And in order for me to really balance this, I've got to stick a camera on there. That's we're talking a lot of weight, in a battery, and a lot of weight in a camera. And now I've got these little baby-sized 1806s, which are real small, about as small as you can get for a 250. And I'm going to be trying to lift this thing. It's not going to go anywhere fast, and that's my biggest concern. I just, physics. I don't want to put the battery on the bottom below an already ridiculous, power distribution board stack. I really don't want to put it on top, because that just goes against the whole build philosophy from the very beginning. It's going to go here. That means I'm probably going to have to get a 3D print for the camera mount. I see no alternative, other than stacking a bunch of weights in here. But this thing is going to fly so poorly. So, there's something that you don't really know unless you're experienced, and you get to that part of the build, and then you realize, oh, by the way, it doesn't balance. And you're all the way into the build, and then you've got a problem. So, it's early enough where I can already see the limitations. So not sure how we're going to do that exactly. I've got a ton of props. I got some HQs. I got some gem fans, again, that came with it. These are really junk, in my opinion, these gem fans. But the DAL props are much nicer. And the HQ props I've got are much nicer. Actually, I love HQ props. Just bought some for the Dragonfly, so we're going to see if we can use that. But that aside, that's pretty much the kit. That's the way we're going to go with this. Really looking forward to dressing this up a little bit, adding a little color. But my inexperience with, you know, the flight controller, the ESCs, the OSD. This is going to be kind of a learning thing for me, and this is going to be fun. And that's why I'm doing it like this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, who knows? I might put a little, really little light junky antenna on there. You know, I'm going to be flying proximity anyway, right? I don't need a big, dang, nice, high-end antenna, you know, necessarily. Just use this little Fox. So we just had the camera shut itself off. Can't believe I'm actually at the 15-minute mark, but it was at the point where I think I needed to stop talking anyway. So other than that, everything else is standard fare. I'm really happy with this kit. The fact that I got this for $53. It had shipping on it, which brought it to $62, but fantastic deal for this. Again, I bought 2 of these, so I don't know what I'm going to do with the second one if I don't fly this a lot, but I may use it for parts, which is what I intended to do from the very beginning. Really looking forward to this next build. I'd like to get the flying squared away on my TBS Discovery first and do some more aerial photography with my Align M470. I'd like to get some more shots in with my 470. It's been really windy lately, but you know what the hell, it's a big rig, it's a 10-pound rig, it can take the wind really well. But that's it for the little guy. I've got a couple OSDs here. This is an older version 1, this is a version 2. I've got the interface to be able to program it. So I'm looking at pretty much all the parts that I'm going to need for this. You know, a couple of screws, got a whole bunch of standoffs and stuff in case, you know, the stack that I'm getting printed. I'm going to need standoffs and screws. I got some nylon, you know, stuff for that. And I don't know, I'm considering throwing on some of the red, maybe turning this into a red standoffs, but I've got enough standoffs. But they're larger. Whereas these are 35mm standoffs, the reds are 40. The blues, I've only got a few of them, and they're 35. But I want to make sure that, you know, the standoffs match. You need 6. I don't want to jack this and make this any taller than I have it to be, you know, than it has to be. I'm comfortable either way, but I might dress it up a little bit or just purchase some more standoffs. But yeah, I don't know, I really like color. You know, if it turns out that I do use the red, then I'll probably absolutely use the red braiding just to get some more red in there. But I've got a lot of colors happening in this build anyway, so you know, who knows. But that's it. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to get this one in the air and see how it flies. Want to get goggles and fly with goggles. This will absolutely be my introduction to goggles if the TBS doesn't fly better than it does now, because the TBS flies like crap with the AimDroid X arms. That's it. Long video, but that's the intro. And I don't think there's anything else I can add to this. But that's about it. Thanks for watching.